When you try your best but you don't succeed. When you get what you want but not what you need.
Hello and welcome to 59 Minutes. I'm your host Colin Plina, and let's get right to the discussion. Today we have two guests and an expert here to talk about a very interesting topic. Our topic is overcoming obstacles around the world. Not the kind of obstacles that Olympic runners jump over, but the obstacles that are embedded deep in our minds. Everyone around the world faces obstacles at some point in their life, and we thought we could talk about this with other people who have faced these obstacles throughout life. Today we have with us a man who wrote a story about successfully creating electricity for his poor village by creating a windmill when he was 14 years old. Introducing William Kankwamba from Malawi.
Good afternoon!
Hello, William. Is it alright if I ask you a few questions of how you overcame obstacles throughout your life? I recently read your book, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, and I just wanted to ask you some questions about some of these things I was wondering.
Sure.
Okay, it says here on page 247 that you had to remind yourself to breathe. Does this mean that you had some hard transitions coming here to America?
Yes, and if you remember, I went to see windmills in Palm Springs, California, and I thought I had to be dreaming this. Just to see the amount of development, and it amazed me the amount of development I saw. It's amazing.
Okay, obviously, in your story, the biggest obstacle you overcame was being a poor farmer to a man that was now praised by scientists around the world. What gave you the idea to make the windmill?
Yeah. Well, I just saw pictures of a windmill in my village's, in the library in my village, in a book, and I thought I could do this, so I did it.
Huh, interesting. Well, what else do you believe were some of the biggest obstacles that you overcame coming to America?
I remember that English was hard. I remember thinking that I was so nervous about my English, I thought the audience would laugh at my silly English. But they didn't. They praised me for my presentation and my invention.
Well, they should, shouldn't they? You are one pretty brilliant man.
Thank you, sir.
You are truly welcome. Now I have a question for you, William. Have you ever wanted to overcome something so bad that you would do anything you would to do it?
No, not really. What does this have to do with anything?
Well, I recently read another book called The Other Side of the Sky, and it features a girl named Farah overcoming obstacles in her escape from Afghanistan. And in my opinion, she connects a lot to you.
Is that so?
Yeah. Yes, there's a man in the story named Ghulam Ali. He is the man that helped this girl over the border. And he's actually here today, and I'd like you to meet him. Come on in, Ghulam.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Ghulam.
Welcome. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions like I did with William, and then maybe if you have time, I'll ask both of you some questions.
Okay, that's fine by me.
Yes, fine by me. Ask away.
Ghulam, it says here in Ahmedi's book, then Ghulam Ali began to march into the darkness with his family, and we trudged along silently behind him. I'm guessing they are falling behind because of Farah's leg?
Actually, it was more of Farah's mother that was the issue, because she kept falling behind and we had to stop every few minutes to give her a break. Right here in the book it says, because of her, we had to pause every few minutes.
You had to overcome the obstacle of the odds against you to get across.
Exactly.
So, Ghulam,
Yes?
there is one question that I was just dying to ask when I was reading Ahmedi's book.
And what's that?
Why did you decide to help Farah out and say, of course you can come with us?
Because they seemed very trustworthy, and they needed a male escort to help them out.
Wow, such a kind man.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to ask the both of you some questions, or a question or two, about overcoming obstacles.
Okay.
What do you two believe is the best way to overcome obstacles?
Well, I believe the best way to overcome obstacles is to just keep believing, and then you'll eventually overcome.
How does one overcome by simply believing?
What do you mean?
Well, I just think it seems a little nearsighted.
Oh, really? How so?
Ooh, I'm going to have to remind you to be...
Well, when I was a child, one of the obstacles in my life was when I couldn't afford to go to school. In my book it said 2,000 kwacha was an impossible amount. And for me to go to school, it just 2,000 kwacha was only about 38 US cents. This was an economic barrier I couldn't just surpass by simply believing.
Yes, but I overcame my barrier in Afghanistan by performing a ritual that cleansed different parts of our body. It says in her book, Amedi's book, it says, we got up and performed our ablutions quickly in the darkness.
I am also pretty religious, but you didn't make it across the border by doing rituals. It also involved a lot of time and effort to get over that mountain. Plus, what if a higher authority were to ever catch you? Well,
I guess you're right, but Allah definitely did help us over.
but I'm sure a lot more stuff was involved to help you over than just that, which proves my point.
Yeah, I guess so, but I believe Allah helped us through it.
I'm not saying you are wrong, I'm just saying your point is a little flawed.
Interesting to see those two sides of the argument pan out like this. Anyway, into our final question. What would you define as being an obstacle?
I would definitely define it as something that interrupts the way you're going.
I would define it like that, but a little bit more than that, maybe. I would define it the same, but like maybe more something like that's physical, economic, or social, rather than something that's just something that gets you on your path.
Alright, thank you two so very much. But that's all we have time for today. And for everyone to stay put, we'll be right back after the break. Have you ever wanted to practice track at home, have a homemade obstacle course, or maybe want to have a fun way to race family and friends at home?
Yeah! Whoa!
Introducing the new Pro Obstacle 9000. These hurdles like no hurdles you've ever seen. They're easy to use for beginners and easily adjustable for any skill level.
Oh,
For the
wow!
low price of just $29.99, you can get 2 hurdles so that you can quickly and swiftly learn how to dodge every obstacle that comes your way. For an additional half a hurdle, just call 1-800-HURDLES within the next 10 minutes. Hurry up! This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do not miss out. Again, this is 1-800-HURDLES. Call now.